writers for the movie Right to Live, which I happen to have seen. And so Tara and I truly welcome both of you to our little show. So let's
Thank
talk
you
to
so much
Michele.
for having us
Welcome.
here, Cal and Tara. Really, really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much for coming to see the premiere. You know, it's an honor to come down here and be a part of this magnanimous, show this evening on New Jersey Discovery. Oops. Thank you.
Thank you again, Tara and Kyle. And like Michele said, we were so looking forward to just come here and talk about the film and so many other issues that are happening out there, because that's what we're about, two women coming together to make a difference.
A big difference.
Yes.
Because the subject you picked, hugely, hugely. And it's funny, I'm trying to remember, and I can't, how we first met, but I was drawn to you immediately somewhere in the final stages of the movie process for you. We talked, I don't know where we were, but we talked, and when I heard the subject matter of your movie, all the different types of abuse, and then bullying,
Yes.
which of course I identified with. That's how we bonded immediately.
Yes, you did.
Because I was bullied. So, a million questions. Let's just jump into it. First, Michele, a little background, a little history of you.
Oh, well, wanted to tell you about myself. I've been acting for a very long time. Since I was younger, really had a passion for it. I've been in various films. I've been in television, music videos. I did musicals. I did acting school. Then, I just really wanted to jump right in and get into like the acting world, really. And that's what Nancy and I really love to do. I'm really passionate about it, getting out there and like making a difference and getting on stage and doing crazy things and be able to perform out there and be somebody different.
Nancy?
Well, same thing as Michele. I was in many indie films, television, stage, cabaret, excuse me. I just love acting. I love acting, writing, directing, you name it. And it's something I was doing back in high school. I was competing for forensics. And I just continued when I got out of high school, and I was privileged to study with some of the greats.
Wow, very nice. So how did they meet? How did
Yes.
you guys meet?
Well, we actually met on an indie film set that Nancy was actually co-directing. And we really became great friends right from the very start. We sit and we talked and we found out that we really had so much in common and so many dreams and aspirations. And we sat down one day and said, we really wanted to actually get out there and make a difference in the world. So her and I really collaborated, right, Nancy?
Yes. We got together, and because we're women, we thought about women issues. So we were talking about abuse. And it was something that we both can relate to. We both grew up in abusive households, and we dealt with a lot of abuse. So we started writing a script on abuse. But we read many of scripts, and we saw plenty of films that were made on abuse, where people brought awareness, but there were no solutions. And we said, well, what's going to make us different than the 20 other filmmakers out there? And we said, when we get together, what we're going to do is we're going to bring awareness, but we're going to provide a solution. And I myself can relate to that because growing up, in an abusive household, when you go outside and you see people, you don't even know how to talk. Can anybody relate to you? And then if I tell you what can be done about it, what's the solution? So you harbor this in and you walk around with it, and then you think you're strange and no one else can relate to you. And we said, we have to make a difference here. We have to let people know that, yes, there is awareness, but there is solution that's provided. We don't have to stay in these abuse situations.
No, that's how we actually came together and we wrote this script, The Right to Live, that Nancy and I, did. This film, honestly, is about all different types of abuses. Physical, sexual, verbal, mental, drug, alcohol, bullying, postpartum depression. So we wanted to create like all these different types of abuses being put inside of a film, and we wanted to show them what they've gone through throughout their lives. And some of them are the abusers, and some of them are the ones that are getting abused. And what happens is they wind up in like a group counseling session, and then they revert back to flashback setting and state what happens in their life. And you go through all these steps, like Nancy was saying, to lead a productive life. So we go through 4 recovery steps, Nancy.
Mhm. And the 4 recovery steps are: abuse is not your fault, talk about it, take your power back so you can live again.
Wow.
And these are the 4 steps that the abusers and abusees learn in the group session, or victims.
That's
Wow.
powerful.
That is
Mhm.
powerful.
How long did it take you to actually, from, once you decided you wanted to write a script, how long did it take you to do the script part?
Well, writing the script took me and Michele 3 months.
Yeah.
3 months. And I think because it was so dear to us that, you know, it just poured out of our mouths, you could say. It just poured out. I mean, you know, we were just writing and writing, and it's something that I love and Michele loves as well. You know, so we just, you know, it took us 3 months. 3 months to get the script together. And, but it took us a whole year to get the film together.
Well,
And
we're
Michele
gonna
can just go into
talk about
detail
that.
about that.
Oh, man.
We want to talk about that. So it took you 3 solid months
To write it.
to write the script. I find, as a writer myself, I'm just a better writer. So the question I want to ask you, I'm a better writer if I live it. And if I live it in experience, I'm just better because I can bring emotion into it. So the fact that your backgrounds
Sure.
really contributed to the success of writing a script because you lived it, the emotion was there, correct?
It's definitely raw and emotional for us, definitely being, you know, in the situations that we've been in. And so you can definitely put more of yourself into it. I definitely agree with you, Cal. You know, let me just start off by saying that Nancy really is truly a phenomenal writer. She's extremely passionate about it. She really is just, you know, puts her whole soul into it. I think she found her niche, if you ask me. She's really passionate
Thank you,
about it.
partner.
You know, for me, I have to agree with you, Cal, about, you know, being raw and emotional and putting everything into it. And you can put, you know, you can elaborate in certain instances and go down in certain instances, but you should be able to elaborate more on that, Nance.
Yeah, it's true. When you write and you have the experience, it flows out of you. You know, it's easier. But writing is writing. You know, writing is part of imagination and experience. It's not all experience. But even with imagination, it'll flow out of you because you're a writer and you want to tell a story. And that's what it's all about, telling a story.
Absolutely.
So now you have, I'm doing a chronological thing here. So now you have a script.
Yes.
You have a completed script. What's next?
What's next is that we have to, you know, get it copyrighted with the Library of Congress. And once that's done, then you move along and try to find like funding and stuff like that for it, and somebody to really get out there and seek, you know, what we're looking to do out there, you know, find investors.
How was
and,
that? I see your
oh,
face.
Yes.
That was-
Let me tell you something. That was a task
The hardest
in,
part?
in itself. Because we're not known filmmakers, Michele and I, it was really, really hard to get funding. I mean, we send the script to plenty of people, and it was just, you know, it's a great script, but people didn't know us. And when people don't know you, they don't want to really put, you know, invest their well, let's say funds in you. So we were saved by somebody who really believed in us, and that's Nick Frantzeskos, Michelle's
Yes.
husband. He really
Uh-huh.
believed in us, and he's our executive producer, and he funded our whole project.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
So
Thank
we're
you.
so grateful to you, Nick.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You're
Actually here.
Yes, yes.
Well, after that, then there's plenty of stuff
Right.
that has to be done.
Okay.
And then, you know, once that's done, you get a script going, you
All right,
have
so-
to get a casting director.
So now you, all right, so you're getting, so that's, these are all, these steps are all, I mean, I have no clue. So now you have the funding, which is
Yes.
huge. And, you know, you and I, TaraJean, always talk about funding for
Oh,
all the
yes.
things that we'd like to do. Because, you know, we suffer from illusions of grandeur, we'd love to do things with funding. So now you have the funding, which is great.
Yes.
And actually, maybe we should talk to Nick. No, I'm just teasing. Well, maybe not. So anyway, so now, next step is casting, correct?
Well, next step actually is really hiring some lawyers.
Oh, okay.
Really,
my
so you
God.
have to have lots of contracts and stuff and get everything just down
Entertainment
pat.
lawyers and stuff.
Yes, you really have to have a good backing behind you to be protected at all costs. Then you have to get your casting director. And let me just start off by saying JT Talent, he did a fantastic job casting the entire film. We have about 150 actors, 10 principal roles, and really they're all speaking roles, and he did a fantastic job. Then from there you get like your auditions and you have your readings and stuff. And scouting out locations.
Locations. That was another task.
Yeah, that's a big task.
We have 40 plus locations.
Better.
And, we practically pulled our hair out looking for this. And partner, Michele, she was on it. She really scouted out just about all our locations. She was on the phone and she was talking to people and business, and people were forthcoming to let us use their place to film. So that was a blessing. People really helped out. But I want to go on and I want to really talk about the editing process.
Please.
Because that's Michelle's strength. And that's her niche. My niche is writing, her niche is editing.
Yeah.
And let me tell you
Thank
something, this
you.
is an incredible editor.
Thank you.
I want her to talk a little about it.
Oh, wow. Huh. Editing is really where the fun begins for me. You really have to put a lot of research and thought and consideration into getting exactly what you want that's written in the script to really be portrayed inside of a film. So you have to learn how to manipulate all the situations and put that on the film. You have to take out scenes, put them here, put them there, put their hands up and down. You have to really be mindful of what you're doing, because otherwise the continuity you can lose, and you don't want to miss a beat or miss a step, because it has to flow just perfectly. The sound, the coloration. If it's not flowing right, then it's not going to look right. But let me tell you something, it's really incredible getting out there and putting your eyes and your vision from the script into the film and putting it out there into the theaters. I mean, it's just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You have to make every powerful scene stand out, and that's exactly what we did.
Were you both the directors for this?
Yes.
So you were both on the set
Yes.
Yes.
every time, and there are some incredibly emotional scenes there.
Yes.
I mean,
Oh, yes.
I'm an actress too, and as an actress, to be in that moment and to go through feelings like that and a scene like that. I mean, how many times did you have to do takes, or were these actors right on a lot of the time? Because I mean, even with shooting it, maybe a different angle after they did the
Absolutely.
scene, and they just took all that energy and emotion. And I mean, I've seen some of the clips. You could see it if you go to their website.
Sure.
And they have the trailers. Oh my God! And there's some serious emotion there.
And it's amazing. And then we had kid actors, they understood, and they were incredible. You see plenty of films where the adult actors are doing incredible, and the kid actors are, they're doing great for their kids.
Mhm.
And these kids, they really set the standards. In fact, we were telling the adult actors, you see the kids? Excuse me, you see the kids?
Thanks.
Okay. So they set the bar really high, which was incredible
I'm getting
and great.
chills even
Yeah.
hearing this.
They really
Yeah,
put their
they-
whole heart and soul into it. Absolutely.
That is
They really
correct.
did.
And I want to talk about where we filmed a little bit. We filmed in New Jersey and New York. In New Jersey, we filmed in Newark, New Jersey, and Elizabeth, New Jersey. And in New York was the whole tri-state. And the reason we did it is because I'm from New Jersey, and Michelle's from New York, and we wanted to bridge the gap. And that's what we did with this
Very
film.
nice.
Mhm.
As far as the actors, can I speak upon that subject?
Yes, please, let's.
I just wanted
Let's
to
talk
name
about it.
the 10 lead actors, and what they really brought to the table was just an incredible, outstanding performance, each and every one of them. Our lead actor, Michael Voigt, Alexis Muniz, Amir Harris, Denasia Coleman. They were one set of a family. Then you have Randy Diorio, and then you have myself, and that's one set family. Ashley Cruz, Nancy Vazquez, another family, and Francine Mancini and Eddie Rocky Rivera was another family. So those are our 10 lead principal roles. And let me tell you, they really brought their A game each and every day. They worked hard, long hours sometimes, but they had some breaks. But they really did an outstanding job. They really did.
Wow.
A lot of emotions, like you had said, up and down, but
Well, you
They were able
become
to
you
pull through
become
it.
that person.
Oh, you certainly
and you
do.
live that for that weeks that you're doing the show. And if you were not in an abused situation and you were cast to be in an abused situation, I mean, that must be devastating, because you've actually
Sure.
accepted yourself to be an abused, because you're being abused in those scenes. I mean, you're getting yelled at or you're being hurt. Oh my God.
Mhm.
It's an amazing show.
There were-
It really
thank you.
is.
Thank you.
There were a couple of riveting, there were a lot of riveting scenes. Michele, there was one scene, I don't give things away, on a staircase. I mean, this was powerful.
Thank
This
you.
was powerful, graphic, and obviously that scene has sat in my head for 5 or 6 months, whenever the premiere was. But, I mean, the whole movie sat
Sure.
in my head because the reality of what you put together, it was real.
It's real.
Yes.
It was real.
Yes.
And that's one of the sterling things about Right to Live, the Right to Live. It is real. How long did actually the film process take? How long was filming?
3.5 months, 4 months.
So it's a long time, it's a long shoot.
Sure.
That's a long shoot, so, you know, on location?
Yeah, well, what it is that we filmed on weekends.
Weekends.
Okay,
You know, so that's why it took 3 to 4 months. If it wasn't on weekends, I'm certain we would have been finished sooner.
okay.
But everybody has secular jobs and,
Yes.
you know, so we worked around our schedule.
Now, we're halfway through the show, so we're
Are
gonna
we?
take a break, but what we wanna do is introduce the song.
Why don't you set up the song?
Because the song.
We're gonna take a,
Oh, the song is called The Right to Live. It's our theme song, sung by Saudia J. And it's the theme song to our movie, The Right to Live, by RayStar Film and Production, Inc.
so we're gonna listen now, and then we'll come back.
To NJ Discover Radio. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are NJ Discover. We have an NJ Discover TV show also. We have a website, njdiscover.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and on Instagram. And I'd just like to take this moment to thank our sponsor, Eco Building Products, the manufacturer of Eco Red Shield, an exclusive eco-friendly chemistry that protects lumber against mold, wood rot, termites, and fire. And to back it up, Eco Red Shield protected lumber comes with a 10-year warranty. No other lumber can say that. Eco Red Shield protected lumber is eco-friendly and safe to use. It contains no hazardous chemicals. It was recently awarded the Green Guard certification for indoor air quality. Their mission statement is good wood, goodwill. You can find them, Eco Building Products, at Home Depot, and their website is www.ecob, as in building, ecob.net. So thank you for sponsoring us. One other thing, we want to invite everybody to the biggest event on the Jersey Shore this year. 1 year after Superstorm Sandy, many affected New Jersey residents and businesses are still waiting for relief. In an effort to relieve some of these financial burdens, as well as raise awareness of the surmounting issues, several companies, including nonprofit group World Resource Solutions, NJ Discover Productions, and others, have come together to host Jersey Rising, a fundraising event on the 1-year anniversary of Superstorm Sandy, on Tuesday, October 29th at 5 p.m. at Jenkinson's in Point Pleasant Beach. The funds raised will be distributed to local charities working directly with individuals and businesses impacted by the storm. Those charities include Hurricane Sandy New Jersey Relief Fund, chaired by First Lady Mary Pat Christie, Hometown Heroes, Shores United Relief Foundation, and others to be determined. Tickets for the event are $50 for general admission and $125 for VIP access. The VIP access includes 2 drinks, live buffet, premier viewing, 2 events. To purchase these tickets, call 732-903-7051, and for additional information or to discuss sponsorships opportunities, email sandyevent@wrscenters.com. In addition, there will be events taking place inside Jenkinson's nightclub and outside on the beach. We have Ed Jarrett, the world-renowned sculptor, is attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the tallest sandcastle with the Sandy Castle 2013 second edition. The castle will be lit up upon the announcement of the record by a special guest to be announced. Also, as we remember what happened 1 year ago and look to the future, attendees will join with neighbors up and down the New Jersey coast from Atlantic City to Raritan Bay at 6:50 p.m. to light up the night with Town Square Media. Last year, at this moment, we were in the dark, and now 1 year later, we are in the light. And of course, we have to tell you all that at the same time that at this event, there will be a live remote television broadcast of NJ Discover's Jersey Rising talk show with hosts Frank DeCopoulos and Taya Anderson. And there will also be NJ Discover's live remote radio broadcast with TaraJean and Calvin.
That's
So it's
awesome.
going to be amazing. It's the biggest event of the Jersey Shore, and I hope you can all join us. And you can always find out more on our website at njdiscover.com. And back to you, Calvin.
Okay. I'm going to digress, because I just want to talk to you about the editing process, since I wrote a novel, and my editing took me a long time. You said something very moving when we were talking the other day about the editing process, and I just wanted you to highlight it again. It's your baby.
Yes.
That's
it
what you
certainly
said.
is, Yes.
It becomes
It
your
really
baby.
becomes your
Yes.
baby. It is it's just a part of you in general, and it becomes a part of you in your life. Like it is for writing, it is for editing. You want everybody to see your vision, and you want your baby to be heard. You start from here, you go here, and you grow up, and then you have this big, huge dream, and you want everybody to sit there and watch it unfold, as we do.
So I was very moved when you said that, and it made me remember what Norman Mailer once said. For a guy, writing and creating and editing a book or a script is the closest thing to having a baby.
Yes.
So that kind of moved me when you said it, and it moved me when I heard that Norman Mailer had said that. So both very moving. So we've gone step by step here through the whole process of the birth of The Right to Live. And I think now we're at the premiere. So
Yes.
talk about the premiere, setting it up, and what was involved in all of that. And
Oh, it was a lot involved. It really was a fun planning event that Nancy and I put together for all of the actors and industry and media related, and everybody like having coverage out there. We wanted everybody to really sit there and watch themselves and really gravitate towards the movie and see themselves in what the performance they did in there, because they really were spectacular. Putting it into it, we had gotten a location. We had it at
well, it was Lower East Side. There was
Yeah,
a,
Lower East Side.
there was a theater that because I was
Yeah.
there.
Anthropology Archives.
The
Yes.
Anthology
Yes.
Archives.
Yes, yes.
So I don't know if we should reveal it. That's why I was speculating. But yeah, you really had it was a special closed setting premiere that not for everybody in the world to see. We just wanted to give thanks out to everybody out there who really came out and worked hard each and every day that they was expected to be there. And they were just really had a magnanimous time. And then we ended up at the Stellan Lounge, right? Stellan Lounge, where we had all of our artists performing because we, actually wrote an album soundtrack, Nancy and I. And our music department, I'll let Nancy introduce them to you. Yeah, Nance.
Yeah, talk about the music.
We have an incredible music department, but let me go back to the premiere. The premiere, like Michele said, it was incredible. And what was so incredible about the premiere, besides the actors being able to see themselves and the media actually being able to see our baby growing or at work, The Right to Live, we were able to get excellent feedback, which compelled Michele to go back into the edit room and make some more changes. And the incredible thing is that we were very receptive to the constructive criticism, and when we went back to the edit room, just the film is just so much better now. So the premiere really helped out a lot in getting our film where it needed to be.
So I wasn't aware of that.
Oh yeah, you can go back into the edit room and do it over 30 times, just to get it really just the way you actually want it, because you have to get the point across and what your message you're trying to tell. It's like, you have the writer and you have the editor. One puts it on the paper and one actually puts it out there into the film. So you can't have one without the other, to be honest with you. So that's why Nancy and I are a complete team,
We complete each other.
We really do.
So from what I saw this
Yes.
summer at the premiere, how much,
How much has
How much has
changed?
changed?
The whole
Is
entire
that right?
continuity stayed the same. The
Okay.
entire message is still
Okay.
the same.
Okay.
It's just little things here and there that I felt that I wanted to take out,
okay.
which is not really anything pertaining to the film. and just like some sound and coloration. Really get out there and, you know, listening to some feedback and stuff
Mhm.
like that. You know, just to perfect it more, even further and stronger.
Now that song, though, we didn't talk about that song. That was beautiful, what we just heard.
Oh,
Right,
thank
that-
Yeah.
you.
That's our
That's-
theme song for our film, The Right to Live. And the incredible thing about this song, it was the first song that we wrote. And it was the first song for the film. That's why it's the theme song. But it has the 4 steps. And what's so incredible about that is that you can watch a film, you know, and next week forget some of the film. But you hear the music and you hear the 4 steps, and it goes over and over in your mind.
Yeah,
You're gonna
music is
remember that.
different, yeah.
You're gonna remember
Certainly
that.
do.
So we made sure that when we wrote the theme song, that we put in the 4 steps.
Wow.
Because it's about giving people a voice. People that have been abused. That's the reason why we do it. Why do we do this? To give people a voice. Because these people don't have a voice. They can't tell you what they've been through, but we can.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we intend to do.
So much abuse, like I saw in the film, it gets kept inside. It's stuck. It's trapped. People are trapped. It's like you're in a cage. You don't know how to get out. So, which leads me to saying my impressions of the premiere and the movie and my time there. It was very exciting for me because it was my first premiere, and it was very exciting. And my time there, it was a riveting experience because yes, I identify with one small aspect, which we'll talk about in a little moment. But I was glued and riveted with the reality of what you were showing in the movie. And you, as filmmakers, you didn't hold back. You expressed yourselves what needed to be expressed and shown. In other words, I don't call myself a reviewer of a film. I am who I am, but you didn't candy coat anything. You showed it like it is, and it's a terrible epidemic that goes on here in America. So really, what your motives are in place. You really want to make a difference, and you did, because I think anybody who sees that, it helps people to want to talk about it. As you said, one of the steps, but you made a very powerful, sometimes almost too powerful, actually, because it's very graphic and it's very real. But you know what? That's the way it is, and it should be told. So I applaud you,
Thank you.
and I really liked The Right to Live,
Thank you.
because I'm a big fan of taking a hammer out and clubbing somebody over the head and knocking some sense, and that's what really needs to be done. You don't sugarcoat, and so anybody who has any experience, any feeling, or any knowledge, or knows somebody distant who goes through any of the steps in abuse should really see this, because it tells it like it is. So I applaud you guys.
Thank
Now,
you.
have you had
you.
anyone see it that has come up to you and said,
Oh,
this has
absolutely.
made an impact on my life?
So many different people have come
Yes.
up to us. You know, honestly, we really touch so many lives because this film is so recognizable and relatable to so many people out there, whether it be in their lives or somebody they know or somebody they love, you know?
And how did they see it? Were they at the premiere?
At
or-
the premiere,
Okay.
even on YouTube, or even hearing us speak about it, and,
Okay.
you know, it's something that we just go and tell, like, we're meeting and talking to you about our film, and they just come out and they come up to us and say, wow, I've been through this, and this film will really help and make a difference. Some of the people that have seen it from the premiere went home and told their families or loved ones or friends, right, Nancy?
We were filming, and someone was making a confession about being abused. It was a young man. He was abused by his father when he was a little boy. And one of the counselors, and we're filming, says, that's what happened to me, and he ran out. You know, and we had to cut, somebody go talk to him, bring him back. But that's filming. you know.
Mhm.
And even now when I talk to people and they just see the trailer, I remember talking to a flight attendant because I work at Newark Airport. Shout out to Newark Airport, United, Skycaps. And I was talking to a flight attendant and I'm telling her about the film and I'm showing her the trailer and she starts talking about how she's been abused by her boyfriend and she's afraid that she's going to lose her life. You know, so it's just so many people can relate. And it really brings people together because we really just want to help and people just want to help. You know, we want to help and people just want to get help. You know,
That's what
so.
it is.
Mhm.
People see the goodness that can come out of this film, honestly, because it really needs to get out there. It needs to be heard. Our message clearly needs to be stated to the world because there's just way too much abuse going out in the world. So many people are, you know, dying from it, you know, getting hurt from it, and then it goes on. For me, this film was about breaking the cycle of madness because if we're in a situation, we're married, and I have children, and the people, my children are watching me get abused, or you getting abused, it could be verbally, mentally, sexually, doesn't matter, then they grow up and they do it.
Yeah.
So that cycle of madness has to stop somewhere.
Now, how can people see it? How can people see it now? I mean, people are listening, and there's people right now who are listening who are recognizing themselves and what you're talking about. How can they watch your show and listen to your music?
Well, they can actually view our trailer on YouTube. Look under RayStar Film and Production Inc. They can go to our website on Google website for RayStar Film and Production Inc. SoundCloud and iTunes has our music. You can purchase them there or listen to them for free.
And is that under RayStar or?
Yes,
okay.
RayStar, or you can look under Nancy and Michele. We also have an IMDb under both of our separate names, and
Okay.
IMDb. We have Facebook, Twitter.
Yes.
Spell RayStar for everybody.
Sure, RayStar, Film and Production Inc.
Okay.
Yes.
That's all one, okay, that's your website.
And then when will the film
Yes.
be out?
Well, we're on the verge now of, we're seeking distribution. We're seeking worldwide distribution, international distribution. So any distributors out there. So that's what we're doing. So we want to get the film out so everyone can see it. We feel like this is a film that everyone needs to see. Whether you're an abuser, whether you've been abused, whether you know someone that's been abused, it's a film that everyone can relate to. But we're looking for distribution now.
And it's a full feature film? How long
Yes,
is
it is, a full feature film. It's 1 hour and 48 minutes
Okay.
running time. And it-
Okay, now, because I'm conscious of time, there's another project you're working on as an extension
Yes.
of this that is very dear to you, and it's actually
Yes.
come dear to me. It's bullying,
Yes,
and you have it's a Project Wake Up.
yes. it
So why
is.
don't you tell us, that was an extension of the film?
That was inside the film, one of the
One of
abuses
the-
is bullying.
Bullying, and now my quick identification with this, what it really means a lot to me, in this particular part of the segment, is I was bullied in high school, a long time ago. And when we first met, that was our hook, how I got attracted to your work. And interesting enough, I was bullied in high school because I was bullied. Interestingly enough, I believe, I've never been to a shrink, but 50 years later, saying that magic number, I don't want to say it, I still have scars from being bullied. And actually, I'm going to my high school reunion this weekend,
Oh,
Oh my
wow.
gosh.
with the knowledge that
That they're
I
gonna
was.
be there?
That they'll be there, but it's different because, as I said, I have long hair, and that's one of the things, the magic thing. But let's go in and please talk about.
Well, it started off with, like I said, in the film, we have a bully situation. What prompted Nancy and I to write a song about an anti-bully song is for gearing towards being positive. Too many people that were killing themselves in the Staten Island area and in New Jersey area, like in Newark.
Yeah.
So it prompted us to write this song and to teach kids to not give in and let them win. And the song is called Wake Up. And who performed it is 3 people: Alyssa Caballero, Danny Angelic Rivera, John Rivera. Actually, JR, which is John Rivera, and Danny are actually part of our music department. They're producers, and Danny's the assistant producer. They're singing, and Alyssa Caballero is also inside the film. She's actually a teenager. So they wanted to get out there and make a difference into this world. And so they performed that song, Wake Up, which prompted us to do Project Wake Up.
Right, and Eddie Rocky Rivera was our engineer for our music
Yes.
department. She just described the music department, so
Sorry,
that's actually
we had
that
to
was the
leave that.
question
Yeah.
that we had before. But Wake Up and the bullying theme is so awesome because Michele brought that to my attention. And she brought it to my attention a few times before I actually paid attention to it. But we, that's our next project, and we have a great script that we're looking for funding for it.
Yes.
The bullying script. So it's something that's a going on project. We went to schools and we talked about bullying and
You do that, you
Yes,
go to
yes.
schools?
Yes, we do. We're actually going in a few weeks to another school. We've
That's
actually
great.
been to schools out in Jersey, Long Island, Staten Island. We go there and we talk to the children, and we speak to them about bullying and what the situations are and what to look for. And then we gear it towards, explaining to them that they shouldn't be in situations like that. And then we actually have our artists performing for them, so the kids really get enthusiastic about being part of it.
That is a wow.
Just so everybody
Yes.
can hear the song later, we're gonna close with that
We're,
song.
we're gonna close,
Right.
because
So
I think
we
it's
want
important that
people to
everybody hear that.
Okay,
Thank you.
So
All
we,
right.
we can talk for
we
a
have some
couple,
time, yeah.
a couple more minutes. Because we promoted this, and there's been lots of feedback on our Facebook.
Mhm.
We did have somebody who made a comment, Andrew.
Right, Andrew Kurizak.
Kurizak, who made a comment
Yeah.
about the show tonight. There were a bunch of comments that we pulled off, but why don't you just make a
he
comment?
posted on Facebook, he said, he just feels the best way to deal with bullying would be to train everyone in self-defense. That obviously would help in a teenage situation too, but also he mentioned that laws like anti-bullying laws make criminals out of innocent people and does not change the bullying, just criminalizes them. Now, what do you guys think of that?
Well, I mean, I really feel that the bully situation, I don't know about self-defense, I mean, getting on them, because you're just having a massive amount of fights. I just think that, you have to have laws, like in the school, and yes, you do need to be penalized, but not in like that way, though, as far as that. for me.
right. I mean, the bully situation is epidemic, and people
Yeah.
need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what it comes down to.
My engineer friend is giving me the Nixon sign, 2 minutes till we go to the song, correct? So we have 2 minutes. Interesting, I was floating around YouTube, and I don't know how I stumbled upon, there was a viral video, and I wanted to tell you about it even before we
Sure.
went on the air. There was a viral video of a kid being bullied in a city situation, and he was being bullied by a kid, and another bigger kid came along and decked the bullier, and everyone gathered around and applauded. So there's the beginning of, I took from that, there's a consciousness, and there's an awareness on the part of kids not to bully. So it's a process, and you're right in the middle of it by going to schools, which I think is great.
Thank you.
Real fast, taking all this energy, because you're directors, I
Yes.
have to ask you both.
Mhm.
Who are some of your favorite directors and some of your favorite movies? It's a silly question, but.
No, it's not silly.
Okay.
It's not silly at all. I love Tyler Perry. I think he's a genius. A favorite film from him would be For Color Girls.
Okay.
I think that was excellent, the way women are portrayed and what happens to them. I love Ava DuVernay. She won Best African American Director for Sundance. I think it was 2010. The Middle of Nowhere. I love that film of hers, and I love that she has a distribution company herself, just making things happen for herself as a director, writer, so we can go on, but.
Okay, Michele.
I like Adam Sandler, Ben Affleck. I like them as writers, directors, to be honest with you. Robert De Niro. I like old school kind of movies, like Godfather, Scarface, Titanic.
Right.
I'm more towards that.
You mentioned Scarface.
Yeah.
The character in Scarface is involved in bullying.
Oh.
He's in I haven't, we can talk about that after we go off air,
Okay.
but Manny from the movie
Oh.
is involved in Stephen Bauer. is his
Oh,
name.
wow.
He's involved in anti-bullying projects, but I've been called by one of his, we now are going to cut. It's been absolutely
It's been so
Thank you.
great having you.
wonderful.
Thank you for having us
Thank you
here.
so much.
We just-
Truly appreciate
just-
it.
There wasn't enough time.
We will keep everybody posted about when the movie comes out.
Yes, you'll let us know.
On our
Facebook.
and people can see,
Our
so.
website, we will let, you guys can go to find out all their information. So this is their song.
Yep,
Yes,
we're
thank
closing
you.
with your bullying song.
Yes,
Wake
this
up.
is
Wake Up.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Yes. Hey, goodbye,
All's
Tara.
well. Bye,
Goodbye,
Cal.
goodbye, see you.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody. Thank you.